Hello again, Keith Avalone from PLAAY Games. Glad you could join us for a special Tuesday night, pre-Thanksgiving live stream on our YouTube channel. Sam is here as well, producing the show and checking the chat room as we have sort of a multi-purpose stream planned for you tonight. As we get ready for the big Thanksgiving weekend and the kickoff to the holiday season, we're going to give you a quick demo of this year's holiday PDF game. It is a fantasy football-themed card game called Draft Duel. We'll show you how it works. And we also have a couple of goodies to show you that we didn't have time to, or didn't have availability on our Thursday night stream, which we will do after the demo of Draft Duel. Finally, we have a couple of news notes with which to wrap up the show. So that's our itinerary for tonight. Let's get after it. We'll start with Draft Duel. So we've been working on Draft Duel really all year long. It started when it was sort of inspired with scorecards. When we were working on scorecards, we sort of saw the possibilities of a game in which the cards sort of interact with each other, kind of like the way fantasy football works. Brought this game with me to Charlotte and played it with Al Wilson back in March, and we had it at the convention. We played it with a number of people during our Friday night games session, and then we also brought it to Winnipeg. We played it up in Winnipeg. I had a great time in the hotel lobby playing this. Brought it to Cooperstown. So it's been in the works for a while. I've been working on it for a while. Each time we've been kind of bumping it up a little bit with better detail and more fun and better graphics. And it's finally ready for the world, I should say. Now, fantasy football, it is a card game that is based on fantasy football. Now, it is not a football game necessarily. As you know, if you participate in a fantasy football league, I guess I should say if you don't participate in a fantasy football league, here's the way it works. You draft your team, you get together with your buddies and you have a pizza and beer or whatever, and you draft your team one night, and then you have your players, and however they do in the real life NFL games that weekend, that's how they do for your team. So you might have your quarterback might be Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs. You might have a running back for you might have Derrick Henry as your running back, or maybe Justin Jefferson as your wide receiver. So you get all these different players playing for different teams. So you're really cheering for the players, not the teams. It's kind of an odd, if you're a longtime football fan, it sort of seems like it's kind of an odd way to enjoy pro football. But believe me, many, many people are into fantasy football. In fact, we had some guys over last night from our church, and one guy, he's not a sports fan at all. He doesn't like sports at all, but he has a fantasy football team. So that's kind of the way it is with fantasy football. And that's what this game attempts to do. This game recreates the feeling of having a fantasy football team. It's not a football sim necessarily, although it's very football themed, and it will feel like football, but it's a fantasy football themed card game. It is a multiplayer card game. That's one of the things we wanted. I'll be honest with you, I've wanted to do a fantasy football card game, or not necessarily a card game, just a fantasy football game, because it's such a phenomenon. I thought we got to tap into this somehow. And for the last couple of years, I wanted to do this. So one of the things we wanted to do is make it a multiplayer game where you could play with multiple people, and that's really, I think, the beauty of this game. It is a multiplayer game, and I will go over the multiplayer rules here quickly. But I understand that our crowd generally we're solo gamers. We have a lot of solo gamers, and I think that's really more a trend in the general board game hobby as well. A lot of people like to play their games solo, or be able to play their game solo. So we've developed a solo mode, actually several solitaire modes for this game that we'll also show you. But first, a quick overview of the multiplayer game. Basically, you've got these cards. Let's go to the table cam, I guess, to show you. Each of these cards, it's a deck of 64 cards. There's 64 players in the deck. I'm just going to spread some of them out here. Some of these names you'll be familiar with. And as you'll see, they're all quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs. Did I leave my drink in the middle of the... Sorry about that. They're all running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks, and kickers. There's no offensive lineman in fantasy football. Some fantasy football leagues do incorporate defense. We don't. It's all skill position players: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and kicker. Each of these cards, just quickly to go over the cards, there's a little number up here. That's just a bookkeeping thing. That's a card number, so we can know we need to fix card number 51 or whatever. So each of the cards is numbered, but it has nothing to do with the game. Similarly, really, the name doesn't have anything to do with the game either. But it's football themed. So there's Hawkinson from the Vikings, and Stephon Diggs, and Ertz, of course, Tagliavoa. So we do use names, but really the names don't really come into play. What come into play, what make the cards valuable, the play aspect of the cards, is this center text here. Each card has a specific thing that they do. So that matters. The position matters. The team that they play for sometimes matters, and they have also are given an ability. In the form of expressed as a precious metal from platinum. It goes platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and steel. There's 5 different levels. And there are 3 levels of production. You have explosive players, you have steady players, and then you have uncertain players. So you've got 5 levels of ability, 3 levels of production, and of course the different positions and the different teams. So that's sort of the universe of possibilities that you're playing from. Then, in addition, each card has a specific scoring text in the center, and when you play that player, that's the text that you use to determine how many points you score. So, for example, if I've got Allen out, I play him as one of my cards. It will say if there are 3 or more silver players, talking about ability level, he'll score a touchdown. If and he'll score a bonus touchdown if there's an explosive quarterback. So and it's as simple as that. It's really as simple as that. So I'm checking to see. I'm not going to play him, obviously, unless there are. Of course, he's a silver player, so I'm going to be looking for 2 other silver players, and then bonus if there's an explosive quarterback out there. If I was playing Tagliavoa, he's not explosive. He's steady, but maybe somebody else has played Mahomes. That's the thing. It's the universe of players that you're drawing from is everybody's players. Just like in fantasy football, you're kind of following the body of activity from all the players and trying to score points for your guy based on what the other guys do. So that's an explanation of how the cards work. And the way the game works is there are 5 turns. Each game consists of 5 turns. We use football terminology. There's for a game slot for each game. There's the Thursday night game is turn 1. Then there's the Sunday early game, the Sunday late game, the Sunday night game, and the Monday night game. So those are the 5 different turns. And some of the players will perform better on Monday night or on a Sunday game or on the Thursday night game. So you have to kind of take that into consideration when you're playing your card. So if you've got a 4-player game, each of us are going to draft our team by choosing. You'll be dealt 7 cards. You'll choose a card. You'll pass your hand to the next guy, and there's sort of a pseudo draft that goes on. There's a number of different drafts options you can use, including a no draft option. But in any event, however you choose to set it up, each player will have 5 cards as their starting hand. Then you'll play cards. The first guy will play his card. He'll decide what he wants to play, and that card will be in combination with a free agent card that comes into play each of the game slots. So every time you start, like on the Thursday night game, you'll flip over a card, and this guy is the free agent player that all the players can score from. So if I'm going first and I choose to play Jackson, I will score a touchdown, and then I will score a bonus touchdown if there are 2 or more explosive players. There aren't any explosive players, but I still get the touchdown. And then I would convert the touchdown. You have conversion options, which I'll explain shortly. And then after I play, then the next person plays, and he will get to use these 2 cards to help him score from his hand. Then the third person will play. All the cards that are in play are eligible for scoring. You can score using the abilities, the production levels, the positions, the cities of all the players that are currently in play. And then each turn on each game day, when you move the next game slot, you flip over a new free agent. Oops, I didn't take the blank cards out of here. There are no blank cards in the actual game. We just printed it. We just ran this off. All right, so this would be for the second turn. Maybe we got Deebo Samuel as our free agent player. So now we have an explosive wide receiver, and maybe I've got a card that will score points for explosive wide receivers or explosive players in general, or San Francisco players. So it's a matter of scanning the horizon of what you have out there and playing cards that you feel will score you the most points. You'll do that you'll have 5 turns, and then at the end of the 5th turn, at the end of the Monday night game, you'll check your lineup, your huddle. We call this the huddle, the players that you play. And if you've got one player of each position in your huddle, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback, running back, you do not have to have a kicker. If you've got one of each of these positions, you will get a bonus turn, which we're calling the post-game press conference, and you get to play another card. So it's oftentimes important to have one of each, but it's not always important. Sometimes you'll have the opportunity to score with a card that's going to preclude you from having all the positions represented, but he's going to score so well that's okay. I mentioned the conversions. You have 4 different conversion options. You can go for a 1-point conversion, which is automatic. You don't really have to go for that. You can just take a 1-point conversion. There's a 2-point conversion, which you can earn by flipping a card from the deck, and if it's anything but steal, you will get the 2 points. Then we offer a 3-point conversion in this game as well, and for that you have to flip a gold or platinum. Or you can try an onside kick. To get the onside kick, you don't get any points for it, but you do get to play another card. It's like you get an extra bonus card that you can play. So, and to get an onside kick, you have to flip a steal player. It's all based on and I just did. Oh, I got the onside kick. Awesome. Cameron Dicker from the Chargers. All right, so that's the basics of the 4-player game. And as the pool of players gets larger, the scoring opportunities increase, and you can set yourself up for big scores. A lot of times it's a matter of deciding whether you want to take big points, moderately big points early, or try to play for the really big points later. And I don't really. This is not the point of this stream is really not to talk about the nuances of strategy, or you'll figure that out on your own. More or less, it's to show you kind of how the game works. So that's how it works with a 4-player game or a 3-player game. You'll take turns going first, and at the end of the 5th turn, everybody who's got all the positions represented will get to hold a press conference, play an extra card, and then at the end of that, the person with the most points wins. All right, so let's. So that's a basic overview of the multiplayer game. Now, for solitaire play, we use basically an AI player, a robo player, an auto player, or whatever. And there are various levels of ability of the AI player. We'll start with the very basic ability, and that is with no bonuses. And I will say that the basic version is pretty easy to win. You won't find it too much of a challenge. But we do kind of ratchet it up. The basic game is just like a one-off game where you're just playing just a sort of a generic AI player, and he's going to draw cards from the deck. You're going to play cards. He's going to draw cards from the top of the deck. And there are a couple of special rules for the AI player. Number one, if you draw a kicker, he never plays a kicker. He just gets an automatic field goal and will then pick another card. Oh, I didn't mention, and this is an important part of the game, that you can play multiple players from multiple positions except quarterback and kicker. You can only play one quarterback to your huddle, and you can only play one kicker to your huddle. So it does. You can play as many running backs as you want, as many wide receivers and tight ends as you want, but you can only play one quarterback and only one kicker. So that plays into your strategy. And the AI player is also limited to those same restrictions. If you flip a quarterback and then flip another quarterback, you'll have to discard that and flip a different player. So that is the rule, that you get only one quarterback, and you can only play, the human player can play only one kicker. All right, so let's just do a quick game here, just to show you how it works, solitaire version. Then I'll quickly talk about the options available to you as a solo player. I'm going to shuffle this one more time. 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to choose which 5 I want to keep. And so I'm looking. Here's who I got. Oh, I got Josh Allen, and I got Christian McCaffrey. Nice. Well, I definitely want him. It's, having 2 San Francisco players is good sometimes. There are certain cards that play off San Francisco. This is actually pretty good. It's going to be pretty tough to choose who I want to get rid of here. But not to belabor it, I will. I'll go ahead and put Kittle back in there, and I'll keep Goddard, and let me keep. I'll keep McCaffrey and not Henry. I'll keep these 5 cards. So this is gonna be. Actually, I don't need to hold them, do I? Because I'm playing against an AI opponent. So this is my starting hand here, as opposed to my huddle, which will be here. Let me shuffle these cards back in here, and we will start. Do I have a piece of paper to keep score on? I don't know if I got one. You grab me one. I see a pencil right ahead of me there. And we'll get this thing rolling here. All right. So here's our first free. And we got Bijan Robinson from Atlanta as our free agent. So I'm going to get to score. Whatever card I play can include him. Let's see. What do I got here? I think I might go with Diggs here. We're sort of limited on the number of players that we have out. So Diggs will allow me to score 2 touchdowns if I flip an explosive player. Of course, if I don't flip an explosive player, can you give me the pencil there, Sam? It's right there across on the table there. If I don't flip an explosive player, then I get nothing. But I'm gonna go. It's early. I'm gonna risk it. So I will go with him. And I flipped an uncertain player, Richardson. So I get 0 points. So I'll put 0 here for me, and here's the AI player over here. I don't know if that's on screen or not, but is it? Okay. All right, so that's my play. And then the AI player flips his, and he's going to go with Andrews, and it says score a touchdown, so he'll get a touchdown and score a bonus touchdown if played immediately after another tight end. Well, I played a wide receiver, so that he won't get the bonus touchdown, but he does get a basic touchdown. Now, how do we decide how the AI player is going to convert? How do we make decisions for the AI player? Well, when I was messing around with this, I went through a bunch of different versions where it's like you're trying to come up with a body of rules to make it fair for the AI player. Then at some point it just dawned on me, well, why make it fair? Why not just make the worst possible decision for the AI player? Just as I get to try to make the worst decision for them as I can. It makes it really easy and also really fun, and also sometimes really backfires spectacularly on you. So in this case, I will just have them go for the 1-point conversion because I think that will probably be the worst choice, or the best choice for me. So the AI team is leading 7-0. That's the end of the Thursday night game, and now we're going to go to the early Sunday game, and we flip and I have to flip a card for my to replenish my huddle, and I drew Walker from Seattle. Technically, I should have done that before I flipped his, but we'll overlook that for now. So here's our new free agent, and it's a kicker. So the rule is that whenever a kicker is drawn, the AI player gets a field goal. So we're going to give the AI player, whether it's me or if I play a kicker into my huddle, he doesn't get it. But when one's flipped here or one's flipped here for his huddle, he gets that extra field goal. So it's now 10-0. The AI player is leading. All right, so I'm going to make my play here. What have I got? We have gold steel. I'm looking at positions here. Okay, so here I can do this. Is there a bronze player? Oh, there's not a bronze player out there. Otherwise, if there were a bronze player out there, it would be smart for me to play Josh Allen because he gets a touchdown for a bronze player and then a bonus touchdown if he's the first quarterback played. But I don't have a bronze player out there, so I'll hold off on him. So here's what I'll do, and this is part of the strategy of the game. I'm going to play Walker, which will score me a touchdown and will, in addition, change the ability level of any one card in your huddle on the next player. So I will be able to change any player I want to any ability level I want. Now, I guess he's already bronze, so I can play Allen next turn and get that bronze bonus, assuming that we don't get another quarterback out there. But I'll go ahead and go with him. I'll score a touchdown, and I'll remember that I get to change the ability level on any one card I'm in my huddle the next play. So I'm going to get 6. I'm going to go for, now what should I do? I'm going to go for you know what? I'll just take the single point conversion. It's a gimme, so it's 10-7. And now we flip for the early Sunday game for the AI player, and he's got a wide receiver. If there are 2 or more Miami players, score a touchdown for each Platinum player. Well, there's not 2. There are no other Miami players, so he gets nothing, which is good for me. And I have to flip replenish my huddle again. Oh, and I got another quarterback.
Real quick, Al is asking if you're supposed to take turns alternating with the AI player who plays first on the turn.
No, the human player always plays first in the solo version. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so he played. He didn't get any points. We moved to the late Sunday game. Got my new huddle here, or this is my huddle here. This is my hand. Let's see. Let's see here. I can play Allen and get 2 touchdowns. Are there any explosives? So Herbert's not going to do me any good. Now, the thing about quarterbacks is I like to refer to them as like their dead salary cap weight after you've played one. So I'm going to basically having a quarterback in my hand is going to reduce my my cards to just 4 because I can only play 1. I'm going to go ahead and play Allen. There is a bronze player. I just played him. And I'm going to get a touchdown, and I'm going to get another touchdown because he's the first quarterback played. So that will give me 2 touchdowns. I will take. I'm going to go ahead and try to get an extra. So if you go for 3 and you make it twice, that's basically the equivalent of getting an extra touchdown. So I'm going to try 2, 3. Well, I'm going to try 1 3-pointer and see what I get. And I do not get it, so I missed it. So I will take a 2-pointer. So all I got to do is flip anything but steal. And I got the 2-pointer. All right, so I got 14 points. So I got 21 now. This time I'm going to remember to pick my card, replenish my hand. And now it's the AI team's turn, trailing 21-10, and they are going to flip Cook. This is kind of dangerous. See, they're in a good position to get the post-game press conference themselves. All right, so with Cook, they can score a field goal or flip a card. If it's platinum, gold, or silver, they'll get a touchdown. I'm just going to let him have the field goal. I don't want any touchdowns for the AI player. And so that will wrap up the Sunday late game. Now we go to the Sunday night game. I've got my 5 players. Let's see here. I am going to, what am I going to do? I need a tight end. The only one I have is Goddard. I could play him next turn, though, if I get something better. I do get that opportunity. Well, I didn't use my ability. I didn't need to use my ability because I wanted to play Allen there. Yeah, we do get a new free agent card. Yes, Williams. Let's see. I think I could go with McCaffrey because I believe there's both a bronze and a silver player, which I just flipped. And is there a steel player? There is not. So I would get 2 touchdowns though, or I could play Goddard and get the touchdown this turn. Only 1 touchdown, but then I would have my 4 positions covered. But I think I'm going to go ahead and play it this way. I'm going to go with McCaffrey. I'm going to get 2 touchdowns. I will convert. Just to keep it simple, I'm just going to take 2 1-point conversions. So that gives me 35 because I've got a pretty good lead against the AI player. I'll replenish my hand. And I got a kicker. Kickers are good late in the game. especially. Oh, and I should also say kickers are disposable. Just like in the NFL, kickers are totally disposable. If you get a kicker, you can discard them and choose a new card if you want to. Can't do that with anybody. You certainly can't do it with quarterbacks, but you can do it with kickers. You can always get rid of them and get a different card if you want to. But I will keep him for now. All right, it's the AI player's turn on the Sunday night game. And he got a kicker, so the AI player never gets kickers. We just give him 3 points and flip a new card. And there's a wide receiver. That's good for me. Are there 3 or more silver players? Let's count. There's 1, 2. There's not. There's only 2 silver players. So once again, they are going to get no points. You can see that without any extra help here, it's pretty easy to beat the AI team under these circumstances. All right, so now it's the Monday night game. And I'm going to, what do I want to do? I have to play my tight end if I want to get the bonus card, which I'm going to do. I mean, I might have a better scoring card here. I could discard some kickers, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to play Goddard, get my touchdown, and I will go ahead and go for the 3-point conversion. And I did not get it, so I got 41. It's 41 to 16. Oh, I need my new free agent player, which is irrelevant for me because I had to play Goddard anyway. So now we're going to go flip of the game here, really, for the AI team. If I flip a quarterback, they're going to get a bonus turn. If I don't, it's pretty much game over. And they got the quarterback. They got Joe Burrow. So that makes it interesting. Joe Burrow will score a touchdown for every platinum player, or flip a card if it's steal, score a field goal for each running back, tight end, and kicker. So this could be kind of risky. Let's see how many platinum players there are. First of all, I see 2. Hill and McCaffrey are both platinum, so that's going to get them 2 touchdowns. So I'll go ahead and let him do that, and in the basic version, that will win me the game. Well, I shouldn't say that because we each get a bonus turn here. So I'll just let them have the 1-point conversions. I won't have them do the onside kick. That will give them 14 points. Gives them so it's 41 to 30. And now we go to the post game press conference, which we're both going to get because we each have all of the positions displayed here. All right, so I'll flip the new free agent for the Monday night game. I guess I need to pick a card for my huddle here. And here's our new free agent. It's a tight end, a bronze uncertain tight end. I might want to go with my kicker. I would get a field goal for each silver or bronze player. How many would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 field goals. I'm going to go ahead and take that. So I'll play a kicker for my bonus turn. 6 field goals gives me 18. Do I get a bonus field goal if there's a steady quarterback? But there is. So I get an extra field goal. So I get 21 because Burrow is a steady quarterback. All right, so my round is over, and let's see what Burrow can. They're way behind, 30 points behind. They're not likely to get anything here. All right, score for the best quarterback. 2 touchdowns for platinum. Looks like the best quarterback is going to be gold, so he's going to get a touchdown and a field goal for gold. I will let him just get the 1-point conversion, so they'll get 10 points. So I will win 62 to 40. This is the basic game. With which to learn. We have an option. We'll just kind of ratchet up the different options that you have. I'll go ahead and pick these cards up, or maybe I should leave them out just so people can have something to look at while I talk about this. So that's the basic game. Just a one-off game against an AI opponent. Pretty easy to win. You can have then the next step up a basic game with opponents of varying ability, and in that scenario, you can have this would be a steal team, which gets no bonus production. You could do a platinum team, which gets an extra 3 touchdowns every time a platinum player is played. You could do a silver team, or a gold team. Let me make sure I'm getting this right here. Get the rules right. The gold team would get you 2 touchdowns. The silver team gets you 1 bonus touchdown. The bronze level gets you a bonus field goal. So every time a bronze player is played against the bronze team, they get a bonus field goal. Every time a silver player is played when you're playing against a silver team, they will get an extra 2 touchdowns. Now you can see I've still got this team out there. If we'd made this team platinum, they would have gotten 2 platinum players, which would have gotten 6 extra touchdowns. Which would have given them, 36 points. So they would have won 76-62. Would have been a much different game. If we'd gone with gold, then there were, I don't know how many gold players out here, but you get the idea. So I guess there's 2 gold players out here. They would have gotten 4 extra touchdowns, which also would have given them 64-62. So the better level of competition gives them extra bonus touchdowns. It makes them more difficult to defeat. So that's the basic game versus opponents of varying ability. You can do a basic game with a campaign mode where you have kind of like a little mini schedule where you play. So you're in a 6-team fantasy football league. There's a platinum team, a gold team, a silver team, a bronze team, a steel team, and there's you. And the game comes with a little 5-week schedule where you play every team once. The idea is, you try to win as many of those games as you can. The other teams play each other using a fast flip system, which is outlined in the rules. It's essentially you flip a card, and based on the production level and the ability that's printed on that card, that's how many points your opponent will score. So if you're playing a bronze opponent and you flip a platinum card with explosive ability, they'll get extra bonus points and would be able to win against a silver team with a bronze card and uncertain ability. The point system is laid out in the rules. So you would play the other 2 games instantly. There's basically a flip of a card, 2 flips of a card will determine who wins the other 2 games of your week. And then you keep standings. Then you have at the end of your season, your 5-week season, you have playoffs with the number 2 and the number 3 team playing each other. If you're the number 2, hopefully you'll be in the playoffs. Sometimes you don't make the playoffs, but if you're in the playoffs, then you'll play. The number 3 plays number 2, and then the winner plays number 1 for the championship of your fantasy football league. So that is the basic game campaign mode with generic teams. You can also do this with specific teams, and to do that, you would simply assign a precious metal, an ability level to each city. So let's say you wanted to make San Francisco platinum, and we'll make Philadelphia gold, and we will make Detroit silver, and we'll make Tampa Bay bronze, and we'll make Arizona steel. All right. So you'd use the same rules, except the only difference would be every time you flipped a player from that team, they would get a bonus touchdown. So San Francisco would get bonus touchdowns when you played McCaffrey or Kittle or any other of the San Francisco players. So the better teams obviously have more players. So it adds sort of a more of a personalization for the basic game campaign mode. All that is contained in the basic game, which will be available both as a printed version and as a download. We also will have I'm not sure how much limited, we will have printed versions available during the holiday sale as well. Now, so that's the basic game. All this is in the basic game. We also have an expansion, which I'm going to show you, which will give you more players, give you 36 more players that you can shuffle into your deck, your fantasy deck, for a total of 100, and it's the same mix. It's the same ratio of positions and ability levels and production levels as the main deck. So you don't have to worry about throwing the balance off. It'll be exactly the same balance by mixing those cards in. Let me get that out here. But you also get 36 new players, but you also get 32 team cards. So these are the team cards. Here are some of the players that are in the expansion. There's Trevor Lawrence, Jonathan Taylor, C.J. Stroud, baby. Anyway, so what we did in the expansion, some of these teams, there's not a lot of Panthers that do that well currently. And, of course, the Cardinals. We wanted to have at least one player for every team. So any team that didn't get a player in the base game gets at least one in the expansion. So there's 36 additional players. And let me show you the team cards. So this is like a step up from what we're talking about with the campaign game, where you choose like an identity for your team, like you make San Francisco Platinum, like I was talking about. So these cards there's one for each team. There's 32 different teams, and each of these cards has, in addition to the scoring distribution that we talked about, which is sort of based on what's in the rules for the basic game. These are customized scoring variances, scoring distributions for these teams for when you flip a card, and each team also has its own special scoring text. So, for example, if you're playing, let's say you're playing Chicago as the AI team, they will get 3 bonus touchdowns if a quarterback is played in the Thursday night game. So, if in the Thursday night game you either play a quarterback, which you probably don't want to do, or they play a quarterback, or the free agent player is a quarterback, they're going to get 3 bonus touchdowns. Here's New England. They will score double points every game day until an uncertain wide receiver or tight end is played. So they're going to get double points and you can make that happen by playing your uncertain wide receiver and shut that bonus off. So you do have a lot of agency in this. And each of the teams has its own special ability. And of course, you can instantly play games by flipping cards. So let's say we want to play Green Bay and Houston. We would flip the card for Green Bay. And again, these are fantasy football points. We're giving them city identities, but they're representing, fantasy football players. So we would flip, Green Bay would get a steal, uncertain. Ooh, so uncertain gets no bonus points. 41 points for Green Bay. Houston, we flip, steal, uncertain for Houston. So it's 41-27. Green Bay would win that game. And you could have a whole league that you would compete in against whatever teams you want. The way I recommend playing it, and the way I have been play testing it is, you take this deck, you shuffle it up, and then you deal out 5 cards, and those are the 5 teams in your league and me. So I'm playing as these 5 teams. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll pick one here. So these are going to be the 5 teams in my league. Vegas, Philadelphia, Detroit, Buffalo, Tennessee, and Seattle. Oh, I picked an extra one. Seattle goes back here. So these 5 teams. So I'm going to play each of these teams once and obviously try to beat them all. And they're also going to play each other once using the fast flip method. And we're going to keep stats and keep point totals, and hopefully I'm going to win the Super Bowl by defeating all of them, or at least making the playoffs and winning my way to the championship. Now, I will say it's easier said than done, especially if you get some of the better teams. We've loosely, well, maybe not so loosely, matched up the abilities of these teams with their current standing in the pro football landscape. So you'll find it's very difficult to beat Philadelphia's bonus, for example. They get to play a second card. They get to play 2 cards on all 3 Sunday games, which, as you can imagine, gives them a pretty good advantage. But, it's up to you to try to figure out ways to short-circuit that, which makes it super fun as a solitaire game. So that's like, if the basic game isn't entertaining enough for you, this will certainly give you added entertainment. I mean, hypothetically, you could play all 32 teams and, flip, have your own schedule and see if you can run the gamut. So that's how Draft Duel works. Super fun. It's super engaging, whether you're playing it, head to head with multiple people or by yourself. I think the thing that I'm really most enthusiastic about it is first of all a game. So you can play this game with anybody, whether they like football or not. They'll be able to understand how this works, and they'll be able to see ways that they can win, strategies they can use. It's not football specific in that way. So you can, if you have trouble finding people, to play games with you because you like sports and maybe they don't, this is a great game. You don't have to like sports. That plus the fact that, the reality is plenty of people don't like sports, but they're interested in fantasy football. So it's a great game to connect in that regard. So that is Draft Duel. And if there's any questions about it, just shoot us an email. You can click the link at the website, the contact link, or just go to info@plaay.com. That's our informational email address, info@plaay.com. And I'm happy to try to answer any questions you might have about it. I mean, there's more to the game than this. There's plenty of nuance. It's one of those games where the more you play it, you begin to figure out ways, little sneaky. It can get kind of dastardly sometimes, but generally speaking, it's very cordial, very accessible. And as we say in the intro notes, if you like card games, you'll like this game. If you like football, you'll like this game. If you like card games and football, you'll really like this game. So that is a draft duel. Let's talk about a couple other things before we wrap this thing up. Get these cards out of the way. We want to show you the two mats that arrived Saturday. They were not available when we did our Thursday stream. Let's start with the tennis mat. The tennis mat is going to probably be not very surprising. It is actually a mat version of the tennis board. That's all it is. There's nothing special about it except that it's this cool, material. You can roll it up, and I don't know. Dice just seem to roll better on this material. So, pull it toward me. How are we doing? All right. Well, there's nothing revolutionary about it. It's exactly the same layout as what you have on your actual tennis game board. But there it is. They did a really nice job of printing this, by the way. That's very, very crisp and clear, and I think it's going to be a nice addition to your game. So that will be available. Let's show you the Hockey Blast Express mats. I'm going to pull this over. I've got it set up. So here is that. Oh, I messed it all up, didn't I? Shoot, what am I doing? So I'll have to set it all up. So this is where the game boards go. I've been sort of playing it like this, but you don't have to. You could do it like this if you want. It's set up so that this is the area for the charts, and this is where you set up the game boards here. If you don't want to have if you already know what the qualities are, you can put the empty net mini chart there. Here's the way I set it up, like this, because you don't always use the empty net mini chart. Oh, this needs to be adjusted as well? All right. So then you're going to set your goalie here, and then you're going to do your stacks like this. This is nothing, I don't really need to. I just have some cards here. And there you are. You'll set it up like that. And you're ready to roll. Don't have any dice, but you get the general idea. It's all right there in front of you. We have a little scoring track here, so you can just keep a little pawn or a coin or something to mark each segment. And there you are. That is the Hockey Blast Express mat. Again, same material. They really did a really nice job of printing. It's very crisp, and really pleased with the way these came out. So that's the Hockey Blast Express mat. We do have one other thing to show you. Actually, we had a third thing, or I guess a fourth thing, and that is our. You saw the graphic on the website of the Santa Claus playing football, carrying the package. We actually created a series of greeting cards with different sports, with Santa in Santa with the football, Santa playing baseball, and so we've got these. We made them into like greeting cards where you could, we were going to offer them, like as a printed product. Ran out of time, so we're going to offer them as like a download, but you can download it, and like the baseball one, it's got well, I wish we had a picture of it. We don't have a picture of it, but
Sneak one on the screen real quick.
Can you? All right. So do the baseball one. So it's there's no plate like home for the holidays, and it's Santa, swinging the bat. So I don't know if you can bring that up. He's trying to. Anyway, we have a collection of 4 of them that we're going to make available for the holidays. You can download it and print it and send it to your sports game nut friends.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, it doesn't have it on. Okay, well, anyway, you'll see it. You'll see it Friday. This is the other thing we have, and that is Lacrosse Blast Express. All right, so we were talking about how the soccer game. We are working on Soccer Blast Express, but it's a different sort of game. than hockey. So, I mean, we mentioned last time that it'd be super easy to make a soccer game, express soccer game, that felt like soccer players playing hockey, which wasn't what we wanted to do. So we're working on ways to make it feel more like soccer and yet still play fast. However, lacrosse is basically hockey, so it's a natural fit. So it was a much easier transition. And we'll be offering this during the holiday sale only. We have it's very similar in fact, the charts are probably 95% similar to the hockey game. You probably could play this if you knew the rules with the hockey game, Hockey Express game, but it has the rules are significantly different for lacrosse. Because whereas hockey has like 6 goals per game, lacrosse has like 25. So, but we've come up with a really cool way to make it happen. Plays in 10 minutes. It's super fun. I played out the whole Colorado Mammoth season when I should have been working. That's probably the reason we don't have those cards ready, because I was too busy playing Lacrosse Blast Express in my rare off time. Anyway, we're going to make this since we're bringing back Lacrosse Blast for the holidays. We thought it only fair and only fun that we bring an express version of the game to the holiday sale as well. So it will be available along with the full play Lacrosse Blast game just for those 4 days. And then it will go away and will only be fondly remembered on people's tabletops. All right. Let's talk about a couple of quick news notes. The holiday sale begins. We can go off the table. Oh, we're back? Okay, good. Hello. Holiday sale starts Black Friday. The website says midnight Thursday. I did get an email from somebody saying that that's technically not correct. What we mean by that is it's Thursday night turning into Friday morning. That's when the sale will begin, right, after you've eaten your turkey and watched football, and it's now midnight, Thanksgiving night. That's when the sale will begin, just to clear up any confusion. I hope people aren't going to be waiting like at midnight, tomorrow night. Anyway, so Black Friday is when it goes Black Friday through Cyber Monday. All the information about the sale, by the way, is posted on our blog post. We posted the Play Connect today, which is our e-newsletter. It has all the sale information and also information on the online Christmas party, which is coming up on December 14th. There's information on the White Elephant Gift Exchange. So please take a look at that. There's also Thanksgiving football freebies, because it wouldn't be the newsletter if there wasn't, at Thanksgiving, if there wasn't, free football teams to download. So there's Thanksgiving football freebies. There's information on the Christmas sale. There's information on the Christmas party and some other things. That's all in the Play Connect e-newsletter. Is on the Play website, play.com. Click on the blog link or just scroll down. You'll see it. And you get all the information that we talked about both last Thursday night and tonight. Next week, we will not be on the air. We'll be busy filling orders. But 2 weeks, we'll be back with our holiday sale follow-up show. We'll tie up any loose ends from the holiday sale, and I think hopefully, I was thinking we might play Lacrosse Blast Express. But we'll do that in 2 weeks, and then the week after that will be the online Christmas party, and that will pretty much wrap up 2023, unbelievably, but true. A lot of fun stuff as we head into the holiday season, and we're excited to have you part of it. Really glad that you're here tonight. Hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving, restful and lots of good food and good family and friends and some warm times with the people you love. Enjoy your week. I know a lot of people have a light week this week. Hope you just take advantage of that and enjoy it. And we'll plan on seeing you in a couple of weeks. Happy Thanksgiving. And again, thanks for watching us tonight here on the Play Space Live.